What's going on, everybody? And what's going on, folks? My name is David, and I am your legendary host of this legendary podcast, the D-constructing Topic podcast, where we grab a topic and we deconstruct it and we break it down. And today we got a good one. Today we're gonna break down what make great leaders on and off the court. And today's episode, it's about one of the NBA's most respected rising leaders, my boy 11 from the New York Knicks, who 1 week ago delivered and got us to the promised land, an NBA championship after 53 years. And yes, today is going to be an interesting, because I am one to always have said that when you grab something in life, I always kind of see things through the lens of a sports fan and sports in itself, because there's a lot of elements in regards to sports, teams, individual, that you could apply in your everyday life, whether it's your professional, your anything that has to do with, personal, and your household, and your job, and your dream job, whatever it is. We got some good stuff going on, and welcome to the Deconstructing Topic podcast. I try to get a little bit uncomfortable here, and today is how to be a leader like Jalen Brunson, and how to be a leader. And now, keep in mind, I put the name Jalen Brunson. You could visualize this player, this individual. And I always want to emphasize to people, is this in regards to being a leader and how you get to the top. That is one of the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to break it down. Feel free to hit the like button. It does do a lot of good for me. I put my little listen, if you want to feel like, hey, you want to help out this podcast, this because your boy Deconstructing Topic podcast, I'm on a mission, and we're going to get it. And we got my information somewhere in the bottom in the description. Feel free, leave the information in regards to the PayPal. Feel free to, feel free, make it happen. But what I would definitely appreciate is, once again, hit the like. Feel free to comment, talk to me. What do you feel? Is there something that you're lacking to be a leader? Do you feel like you're a leader? Do you feel like, hey, listen, we there's something that I'm missing? And I'm saying we as well, because you are listening to this podcast. You are taking time to listen to the podcast, but I'm on the YouTubes and all that good stuff, and you could just look at me, my expression. Let's go, woo, woo, let's make it happen. And today, it's one of those things that, hey, raise your hand if you're one of those people that feel like you're a leader. And I got the label. I'm a labor union leader for 20 plus years. And I'm one of those people that have lead by example. Many of my members have called me a leader because, hey, I like to help out. And not only to help out, but to lead by example. And one of the things that we're going to see in the picture here, because it's not easy to be in the role of a leader. Again, it doesn't mean that you're a boss. It doesn't mean that you're a supervisor or you're a manager. It doesn't mean that you are in some type of, in your professional life, that you are in or leading a team, a law firm, or whatever it is. You don't necessarily have to be in those high spots. Just you in itself is a leader. And if people look up to you and reach out to you, text you, call you, email you, if they're always looking to how can I say, pick your brain? That means that you somewhere of a leader. But we're going to grab all that and we're going to combine it. That by the time that you finish listen to this podcast, you're going to grab those car keys and you're just going to be like, choo! Or you're going to grab a basket. You're going to do something and you're going to show out there who you are and what you're capable of. One of the things with Jalen Brunson, that he's not a flashy dude. He, just relax. If you see his interview, he sit down like down. If you're watching this, he sit down like, hey, what's going on? Well, I had a good game, but it's my, my teammates, and if it's not for the team, very, very quiet. Kind of for those sports fans that are listening. I'm a New York Giants fan, New York Yankees fan, Knicks fan. And guess what? If I look at the championship that we have won, if there's one thing that they have in common when it comes to New York Knicks, we got Jalen. When it comes to New York Giants, Eli Manning. When it comes to New York Yankees, El Capitan, Derek Jeter. And what is the one thing that they all have in common? They lead by example. They're not flashy, they just compose. And when it's time to bring it on, those are the people that you trust. And trust me, Eli Manning with his 2 Super Bowl rings, Derek Jeter with his 4 or 5 rings or whatever it is, Jalen now from 1, looking for more, is that when the game is on the line, they all stay calm and composed under pressure. And that's where I sometimes ask myself, I'll be honest, I sometimes pressure, when I get pressured, even me, as a leader, and in a position, in my professional life as a leader, pressure from the boss, pressure from the top. pressure from all over. It gets to me. I ain't gonna lie. Come on, I'm just a human being. But you see, that's where you gotta look up. And when you're under pressure and you can't handle it, it's not that you cannot handle it. It's that you didn't put the work. See, and that's the thing here in regards to one of the things that I would like to say. And one of the things that Jalen Brunson said, it's only pressure when you're not prepared. Listen to that. It's only pressure when you're not prepared. See, that's where people kind of fluster in the spotlight when it comes to pressure. That's because you're not prepared. You didn't work hard. See, Jalen Brunson worked hard, and I know that some people out there commend his parents and so on and so forth. You know, not everybody is going to be in that situation. But how many times we've seen people, you got the tools, you're surrounded by people. Make the best of what you have and think about, you know, how to just kind of like squeeze the best out of people that's around. And I mentioned that because sometimes we say, well, you know, I don't have this. And, you know, I'm one to grow up when I was a young kid. Was there a lot of positive mentors in my life? No, but, you know, my family, you know, over there in Puerto Rico. So, in a sense that I have to kind of build myself. Was there people that made an impact on me? Absolutely. There's a lot of people, teachers, you know, my mother, my siblings. People believe in me. That's why I created this podcast. I didn't create this podcast under sheer sense of, let me know. This is 20 years of making. One of the reasons I created this podcast once again, because I want to instill that into that kind of thing of, I know that I believe in you just like people believe in me. And one of the things that Jalen Brunson, my parents raised me to never be a follower and always be a leader. Let that sink in. Yeah, let that sink in. People out there, there's a lot of followers. I'll be honest. I'm surrounded by many people that are followers. You know, they let the news dictate whatever it is that they do. They let certain things dictate what they do. No. You got to think on your own. That's why it's one of my mottos is think on your own. Unplug yourself if you have to. And that's why sometimes what happens in life is this, that when you think on your own and then you start being surrounded by people that's going to help you, whatever it is, then you know what? If you got like a little team out there, let's say I got a little team out there. Got a couple of teams out there. In my professional, hey, I got my gym brothers and sisters, very supportive of what I do. Shout out to them. But I'm one to be like, you know what? Let me put the team before yourself. That's what makes a great leader as well. If you own whatever it is, a little small business, mom and pops, your family, whatever, big business, medium-sized business, whatever it is that you do, that you are with a team, always put that team before yourself. Trust me, you're going to get the best out of people. That's why I always say, lead by example. Let's go. One of the things that I also and have been talking about is that, you know, you always want to lead with that calm confidence. You don't have to be like, yo, let's go, you know, go in people's face. Hey, sometimes, hey, listen, even me, I could sometimes understand that you try to pet people up like, let's go. I'm not going to do the Mike Brown thing. What the dogs in there? You know, wait. I forgot what's the name of that song. But I was going to channel my Ray Lewis. Where the dogs in there? Where they go there? You know, it doesn't work for everybody. I learned that the hard way. There are people that are their demeanor is very calm. So how do you work with that? And just because someone is calm and their demeanor is calm, it doesn't mean that they don't have fire. Sometimes you got to control your emotions. You know, that's the thing with me. I got to learn how to control the emotions. Once you control your emotions, you're going to control that moment. You're going to seize that moment. You know, do you, as a leader, do people feel more calm? Do people feel more stressed? See, you know when you are a leader, when people react to you without you saying much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, thank you. You know, they put in the work without you even asking. Because that's what leaders are. They don't have to speak loud. They don't have to get emotional. But second, you know, the one of the things that I always have said is that, you know, you got to put in the work. When you put in the work, do it when nobody's watching. Have you read books? Have you studied? Have you done something when there's nobody around and you be like, okay. And then the next, whatever it is that you learn, you apply it to that whatever situation that comes next. You got to take accountability. One of the things that says there for wins and losses. Now you might say, you know, are we talking about sports here? No. We're talking about life. What makes a good decision a bad decision? We can't necessarily sit here and guarantee that in life, that whatever decision you're going to make is always good. See, there's no such thing. We're going to make the decision. And we're going to have some couple of dubs in that decision, whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. It's going to be W's and L's there, but you got to take accountability. If you have lived life as a leader and you say, damn, there's a couple of mistakes I've done, take that accountability, grab that what you lost and turn it into some wins. Practice and prepare yourself and discipline yourself. And it's not just discipline. People will talk about discipline. We might talk about practice. We're talking about practice. Great Allen Iverson. But practice things constantly, especially consistently. Practice consistent. Because once you practice consistent, you're going to start to kind of realize that whether you made a right decision or you made a wrong decision, you'll make the decision and you felt comfortable about making that decision. Sometimes you just got to improve quietly. And I peep that. I'm going to say it's this. I've been hitting the gym a little bit hard, but I know I can elevate myself. And you like, when I go to the gym, people like, oh yeah, look at you. You looking good, papi. Looking good. You know what I mean? But you see, that's when you improve yourself quietly. No one needs to know. You just do it. That's why you have to practice, be consistent every day. A leader will make other people's better. And that's why I kind of was thinking about that. Put your team before yourself. And what a great leader is, you make others better. You don't necessarily have to be, yeah, let's go. You don't have to be on that, kind of type of person. I do that. I'll be honest. Let's go. I'll be hype. Sometimes I'll be too hype. But, my thing is that sometimes that I am surrounded by so many people that have bettered themselves. And they have thanked me. Damn, David, now I learned something. That's why you got to hit the like and subscribe to my podcast, my channel, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all that. Trust me, I'm here. I want to make other people's better. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to feel better because there are people out there that's going to be like, hey, let's go. Once again, you in the position because you're going to make others better. If you don't make other people better, reel back. Don't lose your confidence. Sometimes I said in one of my podcasts, it was one of those motivational podcasts. I'm doing so much content, but I did say, sometimes there's people that cannot be saved. We're surrounded by people that just, they got that crab thing in a bucket. They just pulling us back. And that's not the lack of your leadership skills. That's life. That's why in sports, teams get, players get traded. Hey, things ain't working out here, so you know what? You get traded. But make others better. And that's one of the things that with Jalen, and he done extremely well. He elevate his teammates. That the fact that Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart play with him in Villanova, and 10 years later they won a championship. They won a championship as a college team in 2016, and as an NBA professional team, grown adults, they win a championship together. See, our great leaders, they don't shine alone. They just help each other. And I'm one of those people that be like, yo, I always got this motto: if I eat, you eat. And I've elevated my podcast, and I've been seeing the numbers, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's following me on the YouTube. My numbers climbing up. And I always say, you know what? See, I'm not going to forget that. Because I'm not here doing this alone. I need you. And that's where the great leaders come in. They will step up when the pressure's on the line, and they'll grab whatever it is, but I got you. But sometimes you got to ask yourself, if you are in a position of a leadership, whether it's in your household, like I said, professional, whatever it is that you're running the show, am I creating opportunities for others? And what am I doing? You know what I mean? Am I building people? And you have to build people up. You have to make sure that you're on top of the game, on top of the line, whatever it is, you just got to do it. That's why I said be consistent. Practice consistent practice. Yeah, I said practice. Accountability over excuses all day, every day. No, because I can't do this. Oh, because I can't do that. Hey, listen, I'll be honest. I'm doing this little podcast. My beautiful laptop here. Laptop, it's a couple of years on. It's running on slow motion a little bit. Is that an excuse for me not to do a podcast? Absolutely not. You could find ways. I could do it on my phone. I could find ways. Anything that you do that you take accountability, just take the accountability. Be like, my fault. Man, my bad. Because no more excuses. Excuses is like, once you start with an excuse, bro, but trust me, we are creatures of habits in this world. It's one of the things that I love about Jalen. When they win, it's a team effort. When they lose, he's like, hey, listen, we could have done better. There have been a couple of times that he have taken accountability for the team losing, but it's not him saying, I'm disappointed in myself. It's me, I'm disappointed in myself to kind of disappoint the team or whatever it is. See, not a lot of people do that in life. People, for some reason, don't want to admit when they're wrong, when they did something that they messed up. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I didn't know that, There's a situation that I'm dealing with for quite a while, and I need to address it soon. But it's funny because as a leader and that person who I've made better when it comes to, hey, listen, what's going on? Hey, talk to me. Hey, they started coming with some excuse about something. It's like, damn, I'm a leader. Remember, I made yourself better. Don't deflect on anything. Don't point the fingers. Don't be that person. Because you got to take it on you. That's on you. Sometimes I say to myself, wow, like, this is incredible. And when being that I'm in that position of a leader, I'm like, okay. And I messed up. Sometimes I'll be honest, like, damn, I messed up. I question myself. You see, that's the little confidence and calm confidence that one got to need. You put your head up and you be like, okay, I did that. It's on me. And sometimes you're going to hear that a lot from me. It's like, yo, if that's on me, I'll fix it. I got it. Because, sometimes even in my workplace, if my boss says something and I didn't do it, yes, the person's going to call me out. Hey, don't do that again. I got it. That's on me. But you see, when we make less mistakes, because now we put in the work, and trust me, that you're going to get, and that's how you build trust. Because you're going to start seeing that nobody's going to question you. See, Jalen Brunson, people always question, oh, wait, so winning the championship last week, he's too small. He's always whatever it is that he's doing. But if there's one thing about Jalen Brunson, he won it in high school, he won it in college, he won it in the NBA now. What now? You know what I mean? Because the one thing that he always have in his mind is that consistent is power. Always remember that. That's why I said be consistent every day. Consistent is power. I started to be more consistent in the gym. Guess what? Out of nowhere, these different opportunities start to pop in. Out of nowhere, not only am I getting an opportunity, but I'm paying it forward. There's a couple of people out there that I've helped in the last couple of months there, and I'm only going to say they're going to pay it forward as well. But that's what consistent is. When you're consistent with something, then everything in life, or just about everything, is just going to be like, pow, pow, coming in. I always say that, there's this thing, hey, listen, when you manifest, the power of manifestation and so on and so forth, that's another topic, but sometimes you can't just sit down and think, oh, let me close my eye, let me manifest that this is going to come to me. Affirmation is powerful. But you have to put in the work and be consistent. And people wonder, why am I consistent? Why my life is inconsistent? Why things seem not to work out? That's because that's on you. You created that. And I will guarantee, if Jalen Brunson came to the Knicks just for money or whatever it is, or he just came for the fame or whatever it is, or now for him success is getting a big contract, millions of dollars, and then he would have been very overrated and all that. No, you see, he was on a mission, and every year we just kept on getting bigger, and every year we just kept on going farther and farther and farther until we win in the NBA. New York Knicks is your 2026 NBA champions. But hey, this podcast or this one, it's all about how to be a leader. Again, how to be a leader like Jalen Brunson. How to be a leader like David Malavi. How to be a leader and fill in the blank. Because you're a leader. You don't need to be a famous basketball player, athlete, or whatever it is. You don't have to be a famous podcaster. I'm just saying. You don't have to be out there in the socials, the platform, whatever it is. Just be yourself. Be consistent and work hard. And lead by example. Because trust me, someone is watching. And even if nobody's watching, still stay consistent. Alright, my peoples. You already know it's your boy D-constructing Topic podcast. I left all my information in the description. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Whatever it is, that platform, you already know. Share that love. My information, it's PayPal. It's David Malave 564. That's DAVID MLAVE 564. And I'm hoping to hear from you and all that good stuff. So let's make it happen. You already know. Stay consistent. I'm out of here. Peace. I'm out.